10 things you need to know about baby leopard geckos coming up.
So in this video we're going to quickly run through 12 points of what to expect with a baby leopard gecko. Now I might ramble on a few bits, but I hope you do stay tuned until the end. So on to number 1, they might not eat. It's a common query. People get their baby leopard geckos and they just don't eat straight away. You have to think they've come to a new environment, the stress of all the journey. They're going to be stressed out, it's all new smells, and they all take different times to settle in. Some may take a few days to settle in, some might take a week to settle in. All just depends how stressed they are. They will eventually start eating though, so there's no need to worry. Number 2, smaller housing is better. Now they get a bit stressed out with the larger enclosures, so if you've just got one leopard gecko, don't go ahead and get a 3 or 4 foot vivarium straight away. They're only babies, they won't be able to find the heat source as easy, they won't be able to find their food as easy. Smaller is always better. You can keep them in a 2 foot vivarium. You can even buy a faunatarium, they're only about 18 inches and you can pick them up for around about £16 in England. Smaller is always better. So on to number 3. Number 3 is their food size. You want a food size, a prey, that is no bigger than the gap in between their eyes. Anything bigger, they could struggle to swallow it, the bone marrow could impact them. Anything bigger is just not good for them. Always go for a food size that is the same size between their eyes. So on to number 4. Number 4 is their general behaviour. They can be extremely skittish, very flighty and very quick when they're a baby. They do tame down once they get a bit of age to them, once they get used to you and once they've settled into their new accommodation, they do slow down, but they can be extremely flighty as a baby. Number 5 is shedding. The baby leopard geckos do shed an awful lot more than adults. There is a couple of areas you do need to constantly keep a lookout on, especially their toes, inside their nostrils, around those sorts of tight crevices. If you do see any sheds stuck on those areas, get a cotton bud or a Q-tip, damp warm water and just gently stroke it. It will come off eventually. Make sure their moist hide is nice and moist, that will also help, but it is vital for you to get these areas of stuck shed off. These can restrict the blood flow to those limbs, resulting in toes falling off, so it is important. Number 6 is red eyes. If you do have various morphs, some albino morphs and raptor morphs and stuff like that do have red eyes, which can be extremely sensitive. You'll find them sleeping and generally hanging out in the darkest areas possible. I do know some people that tint the glass on the front of the vivariums just to help out with that. You'll find if they do sleep in the cold hide an awful lot, that's because that's the darkest one, so you might want to move that over to the heat mat so they can digest the food under the heat. So number 7 is settling in. They do take quite a while to settle in, some do. Some can take only a few days, some can take a week. The quickest way I've found to do it is to put them somewhere extremely quiet, out the way, so nowhere where there's any busy traffic around the house, not your hallway where people are coming and going all the time, and just somewhere nice and safe. They'll feel nice and safe and they will settle in an awful lot quicker. Number 8, their poo. They tend to go to the toilet in one corner. They'll find one little spot where they want to go to the toilet, and that's where they'll constantly keep going to the toilet. Even if you move them into a larger enclosure or a smaller enclosure, they will always tend to go to the toilet in that one little spot. That is, however, not the case for every leopard gecko. My male super snow, Mac, he goes anywhere he wants, but everyone else goes in their own little corners. It makes cleaning up extremely easy. So number 9, is it too hot or is it too cold? You'll always need a thermometer on top of your heat source just to keep a second eye on the temperature there. Always have your heat source thermostated at a temperature between 88 degrees Fahrenheit and 92 degrees Fahrenheit. They're my preferred temperatures. And number 10, the big 10. Their patterns will change. If you go to a shop and pick up a baby leopard gecko because it's cute, keep in mind that pattern will change over time as they progress throughout their life. You will see a stripy leopard gecko baby, but you will hardly see a stripy leopard gecko adult. The patterns will change. If you buy from a reputable breeder, you can always ask to see the parents. The majority of the time they still have the parents. That way you get a good idea of what they're going to look like when they grow a bit older. So number 11, we're coming towards the end now. They're Substrate. Substrate is the reptile version of their bedding, what they live on basically. Now, most supermarket pet stores will tell you to use sand. No, that is wrong. They are not desert animals. They come from the rocky plains of Afghanistan and Pakistan. There's not much sand out there. As a baby, I'd ideally recommend paper towels as a substrate. They're easy to clean, you can keep an eye on their feces, and just general their health. As and when they progress through their age, you can change it up a little bit. On to number 12 now. The very last one, number 12, but the big one. So many people in the past have said to me, why is my baby leopard gecko not moving? He just spends the full day sleeping. Leopard geckos are a nocturnal species. That means they're active through the night and they sleep through the day. They do need that day and night routine, and at night time is the time I tend to feed. They are a nocturnal species. You won't really see them out throughout the day. That's something worth considering as you go to buy your leopard geckos. So guys, that's it. We've come to the end of the video now. I do hope it's been extremely helpful towards anybody who's looking into getting a baby leopard gecko. They are an absolutely amazing species to care for. I absolutely love my 5. I can't rate anything else, not only as a starter pet, but as an advanced pet as well. They are absolutely amazing. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. If you have enjoyed it, if you have learnt anything, please, it really does help my channel if you do hit the thumbs up button. If you can hit the subscribe button if you are new around here, that would be extremely grateful as well. Thanks ever so much, guys. Peace out.